have so many different varieties of seeds. Sometimes it gets overwhelming. I keep trying to reorganize my seeds because there's so many. It's like, do I want to organize them alphabetically? Been there, done that. Do I want to organize them into little containers? Been there, done that. Do I want to organize them into like zip up, like Temu type mesh containers? Been there, done that. And I'm just, I just keep going back and forth. I keep sorting, organizing, reorganizing. There's just so many seeds. And I finally decided that this spring and summer and fall, I really need to focus on planting my older seeds. So my project right now is to go through as many of my seed organizations as I possibly can and pull all of the seeds that are that were for 2020 or earlier and plant those for this spring. So I decided to go ahead and start with one of my binders and start pulling out of there all those older seeds. Now the germination rate might be a little bit lower, but I'm definitely going to get some things to grow out of those. And yes, I know, I'm so excited about some of these new varieties, but I really need to focus on planting what I have that might not be as high a germination rate if I continue to sit on those seeds. If you have this issue, go ahead and pop a comment below. What are you doing to make sure that you don't lose the viability of your seeds? I don't keep my seeds in the refrigerator unless they require cold stratification. If I were to do that, my family would definitely accidentally throw my seeds away. I also don't want to get them damp, and some seeds actually don't do better with that method. So I keep my seeds, for the most part, unless they're like pawpaw seeds or something like that need to be kept moist and cold, I keep my seeds dry and in either some kind of container. I've done the plastic type filing stuff that you do, like they have those plastic containers from like Michael's, and they also have them some other places too. I got mine for like $14.99 and I got a bunch of them. I eventually realized that that doesn't work for me because I have too many seeds. If you don't have a lot of seeds, if all of your seeds will fit into one or two of those, then go for that. That's totally fabulous. I literally have, I don't know, I probably have a couple 100 pounds of seeds. Okay, now I do have some that are from bulk. I probably have about 100 pounds of seeds, give or take 5-10 pounds, that were bought in bulk. And then the rest are in individual seed packets. I'm not playing. I mean, I literally have, I probably have more seeds than than my own self, my own body. Like if I was to weigh myself, I probably have more seeds than that. So I need to make sure that my seeds don't go to waste. So I'm going to go ahead and pull those. And I thought I'd show you some of the seeds I'm pulling that I'm going to prioritize planting this year. And I thought maybe you could pop a comment down below. What are some of the seeds that you're going to try to use up this year to make sure that they don't go to waste? Now, I probably will have some of these seeds I'll bring into my classroom because I think I might be starting a club, a gardening club. It depends on whether there are enough students who sign up for it. So that'll be a lot of fun, and if so, I'm going to bring those things in and we'll kind of just overplant and see what happens. But definitely got to use some of these seeds up. I have a variety of seed vendors I've used in the past. Let's take a look and see what I'm going to be planting as a priority. Some of them are from my own garden, some of them are mixed together, some of them are from our favorite Baker Creek and my gardener and other vendors as well. Let's get to it and see what I have from old seeds that need to be planted. So I've got this heavy duty binder. I do not recommend this for organizing. I've tried it multiple times with different brands of binders and sizes, and I much prefer a smaller binder because no matter what, these end up always getting, they always catch. Like, they get kind of stuck here, and it's hard to turn the pages. So, if you don't have very many seeds and you can go with a smaller binder, that would be a nice way to organize so that you can actually see the front and back of the packages. I have too many, so I don't have just like one package. I usually have a couple packages, and then you can see the front and the back, which is really convenient. I think that's a really great organizational method if you're using a smaller binder, because these rings work so much better. Like, they kind of stick out just a little bit on the bigger ones. And this was a new binder that I bought just for doing this, just for organizing, and it ended up not being my favorite. I also really only like this method with the baseball-sized pockets. For the really small seed packets, you know, from like someone's garden, not the ones that you buy commercially, like from Baker Creek and My Gardener. For the smaller seed packets with the little tiny pockets, that works really well. I'm not loving this. So right now I'm just kind of pulling out of here seeds that are from 2020 or earlier. So these amaranth, these seeds here, I check the date on the back of the packages, and this is from 2022, this basil, and then I've got this asparagus, checking the dates. Look, where do they have the date on here? Okay, on this side right here, 12/20/21. And then over here on this one, I'm not going to go through on all the packages like this for you guys because that's boring, but 12/31/22. So these are the ones I'm going to leave in here. And I thought maybe I'll just show you what I'm kind of leaving in the binder for now. I'm going to come back and reorganize these later. I'm just pulling out the seeds that I need to be planted right away. So see, these are some of the ones I'm leaving in the packaging. Calendula, balloon flowers, carrots, cucumbers. Got some more cabbages. So whenever you see an empty pocket is where I had seeds that I had to pull. Eggplants. More cabbages. You can see through here, like everywhere there's an empty spot is where I pulled some items. And I've got quite a nice collection in here. And this probably is enough seeds for one person. Like, you probably don't need more than this. But that's not how I roll, you guys. This is kind of my jam, and it's somewhat of an addiction at the very least. And you can see here, like, I don't have just one package. There's lots of packages in here. I like this idea better than the little plastic containers like this, because these are not convenient. If all of your seeds will fit into a small tote full of these little containers, go for it. But if you have thousands of packages of seeds like I do, it just doesn't make sense, because I have to open a big container, open up one of these, open this up, look through it, try to find what I'm looking for. And so that just doesn't, it's not cutting it anymore for me. I just have too many. And I actually have too many to have this kind of method either. But on a creepy, overcast, like, depressing day when it's raining and all that kind of stuff, it's kind of comforting to have. It's almost like a photo album, you know. I mean, it basically is. I like to pull out a thing like this and just peruse, and it cheers me up. Is that weird? I mean, it really does. So you can see I love Strictly Medicinal Seeds. They have great stuff there. And the Dollar Tree has seeds in stock now, but like all the seeds they have in stock, basically I have, except for that one seed variety. I think it had the same name, but the picture looked very different. I'll have to go back and check. But I basically have all the Dollar Tree seeds. I don't need to buy any more of those. If I do, it would just be for giving them away. Pine Tree seeds. I've got Baker Creek. This is My Gardener. Burpee. So, and you can kind of see how they get stuck. And you have to kind of push them through. Empty page, because I pulled a bunch of seeds from there. Got more Burpee and Dollar Tree seeds. Got a bunch of different kinds of radishes. The reason why I have so many different types of radishes, and you know I have tons of different kinds of lettuce. These ones here, I'm just going to save those for another year. But radishes grow so fast. And I don't really like the spicy flavor. But what I do like for radishes are the seed pods. Those are so good. So if you let them go to seed, so a lot of people don't want to grow them when they're like going to bolt. But I like it for them to bolt because then I'll eat the seed pods, which are much milder than radishes, and they're just enough kick to them to be really enjoyable for me. My husband likes the actual radishes. I like the seed pods. They have a variety called rat tail radish, and I have that somewhere. But I've got all different kinds of radishes here. They're all really beautiful, aren't they? And I've collected my own seeds as well of those. Different kinds of squash. And like there's not just one kind of squash here. There's several different kinds of squash. So like this is not the best method if you have too many seeds. Because you could easily not be able to find what you're looking for. This one's really cool. I got this last year. I meant to grow it and totally forgot about it. So I'm also trying to find out ways of organizing my seeds so that they're more visible and I remember them because there's just so many different varieties, right? So I want to make sure that I get to all of them. In some future video, I'm going to probably do like a video series where I do like, okay, well, these are all my tomato seeds, and these are all my squash seeds, and these are all my whatever kinds of seeds. If you're interested in a video like that, would you pop a comment and let me know what variety of seeds you want me to start with? But I am going to also be sorting them like that, like where I have all the tomatoes together. And I started to collect containers like this where I put all the same type of seeds together. I've got really giant ones of these where I have like all flowers together, all edible flowers, all medicinal flowers. Like some of these where it's just tomato seeds or just pepper seeds or just brassicas. So if you're interested in seeing like bulk amounts of like what kind of varieties do I have, pop a comment below and let me know what you'd like me to start with. I'm so surprised that rutabagas aren't more popular. Look at all these different kinds. I've got Helena, Laurentian, Marion, you know. But I'm trying to, again, like I'm really looking for the dates. 2022. Like if your oldest seeds are 2022, then do those, right? I'm going with my oldest seeds, which so I'm like, you know what? I really need to pull anything that's 2020 and older, and really focus on those because I know I've got plenty that I need to pull and do that with. So all these gaps here are where I pulled quite a bit of gaps. Vervain. Oh, this is supposed to be a really good variety of tomatillo. I saw a YouTube video, some guy said it was the best ever. So watch them sell out again. But I bought some more of these. So if I decide to plant them, I'll know, come back here and grab the ones that are a little bit older. But these are not 2020. These were for 2023. I'm going to probably do some viability testing as well on some of my older seeds. If you're interested in seeing how I go about that, you can pop a comment so I can kind of prioritize what projects I want to do next. Got some watermelons. I have not done well with watermelons in the past, so I'm trying to do like a little test cropping to see what exactly is going to be the best for me. Watercress is very nutritious. I've got some wheat. I did pull a bunch of wheat that's older, but I'm leaving the blue Ethiopian emmer wheat for another year. Lots of zinnias. Look at how pretty that is. I was so excited about getting this candy cane mix zinnia. And there's another zinnia I was so excited about. What was it? It was like a green color, like Queen Anne maybe? Was that the right name? But I'm super excited about growing those, but I'm going to have to wait because I just got so many that are older and need to take priority, right? This doesn't even look like a zinnia, but if you look closely, it does. Like, to me, whenever I think of zinnias, I'm thinking of, like, my, the look I always think of when I think of zinnias is like this, right? There's so many different varieties. So I have this kind of in alphabetical order, so you can kind of see what I've got going on here, and I'll kind of show you why I don't like this binder method. They really get stuck, and so then you have to kind of like. Sometimes I end up pulling the whole sheet out, and then I have to take it apart and put it back in again, and it's slippery too. So I'm really telling you, the smaller binders work better. The bad thing about that is sometimes the sheets hang over because they're not quite wide enough for the sheets to be mesh at the edges. But this is definitely a pick-me-up whenever like I'm really like feeling just not feeling great about life. You know, it's dark at 4:30 or whatever, and it's cold and rainy and whatever. I pull out a package of seeds, even if I pull out like just one of these, and I just pull them out and I start sorting through. It cheers me up. It definitely makes me feel better. So if on those days where I'm like, you know what, I already bought some seeds, I can't really just afford to go on and buy seeds every single day. I'll grab a bunch of my seeds that I already have, and then just kind of sort through them a little bit. You know, maybe look for some of those older dates, and then also take kind of an visual inventory. And it does make me feel better because I think about, you know what, it's going to be so much fun to grow these. And I love those caprese salads with the balsamic vinegar and the basil and tomatoes and mozzarella. It's so yummy. So I just think about those feelings I get from gardening, and it makes me feel better for sure. So I went ahead and pulled from here. Let's see what I pulled out. So I've got some pumpkin seeds for 2020. These actually are not 2020, but I had a container that got a little bit damp because I brought them outside to plant and then didn't plant them. I think these are still going to work because I think it's just the packaging. So those are going to be planted as a priority. So if you have any seed packets that are for 2024, 2025, but for some reason you had water damage like I did, because I had them in a little tote, brought them outside, and I was gardening and weeding and stuff like that, and so the packaging doesn't look great. The seeds are really dry. I'm going to prioritize growing those for sure for this year. And I also have some Romanesco broccoli that needs to be planted right away. As you can see, that was for packed for 2020. So I want to make sure that gets used up. That basil was supposed to be for 2020. This basil was meant for 2020. So was this lemon basil, and this licorice basil, and this purple ruffles basil, and the package is coming open, even though it hasn't been opened. This Thai basil, artichoke, zinnias, orange amaranth, more zinnias, a cottage garden mix of perennial flowers, lots of wildflowers in there. By the way, those mixed packages is probably where the foxglove came up from in my yard, and foxglove is beautiful, but you shouldn't handle it with your bare hands. It is very poisonous. It's not good well, it can be used for heart medication, but it's not good for your heart, apparently. So you want to be careful handling it, and around pets and little kids. Sweet peppers. No idea how long ago this is. These are way older than 2020 because I very rarely buy seeds off of eBay anymore, unless it's like some kind of rare variety that I can't get a hold of. So that's probably not going to have a great germination rate. Got some more mixed flowers and freckles, violas. Oh, this one makes me sad. I hope they work. But I did like a seed swap, and the lady was so generous with her seed swap, and she gave me all these different, let me turn this around, all these different kinds of tomato seeds, and I need to prioritize growing them. So she's got Garden Peach, Strawberry Fields, Copper River, Cherokee Purple, Indigo, Yellow Pear, Mr. Stripey, Aunt Ruby's Green, German Green, Celebrity, Chocolate Sprinkles, and that was Ruby Indigo. So there's all these different varieties. I want to go ahead and plant all of them all of them. So she was super sweet, and we did like a seed exchange. That was really nice. A nice experience, and I want to make sure that I plant those. I got some grains here, and these were from 2020 as well, just verifying 2020. Got to get those growing. And I'm not just growing them as grains, I'm growing them because they're beautiful. Another package of the Viola Freckles that were overpacked due to low germination rate. Got some yellow early straight neck squash. I feel there might be like one seed in there, I'm not sure. Got some watermelon seeds that may or may not germinate. Who knows how long I've had those? I don't know. Same as these. Not quite sure how long I've had these. There's another name for it. Corn salad is easier to say. I'm not sure how to say that. Is it mosh? Corn salad is another word for that. And then we've got some buttercup squash. And if I've opened them, even if it's not 2020, I'm going to use them. But this is opened and 2020. So I want to make sure I use those up right away. Otherwise, I end up having like a bunch of loose seeds, you know. Another variety of pumpkins. These are Atlantic Giant. They are very heavy eaters. I planted them before. They didn't do well because I just didn't have enough organic matter. So I'm going to deal with that problem. Creeping zinnias. And I think these... What year? Well, I pulled these ones out thinking I couldn't find a date on them. And it's kind of blurry, but it says 2022. So I'm going to put these back in the folder. But aren't those cool? Creeping zinnias. So I'm going to put those back in the folder. They're not a priority. And they're also in Mylar, which makes them last a little bit longer. These are dragon tail radish, which is, if you see those pods there, you don't really eat these for the root. It's for the little pods. So there's another type called rat tail radish. These are called dragon's tail radish. But any radish variety will produce pods if you let them bolt. They'll be like that big. They're not going to be really long. So those are 2020 seeds. I need to get those planted. As are those Japanese wasabi radishes. And those, oops, same type. And I've got some peppers. And I have, yes, I have a bunch of new, you guys know I went crazy about tons of lettuce, but these lettuces are also from 2020, so they need to get planted right away. And so are those, and those, and those. I think I got those free with orders, so you know I did a bunch of orders back in probably 2019, and I'm a little crazy. This is salad bowl mix, and that's also 2020, right? Where's the date on that? Come on. You know what? I can't find the date on it, so anything that I can't find the date on, I'm just going to assume is older too. I'm going to start getting in the habit checking to see if the date's on there, and if it's not, I'm going to mark like when I got it at least, so that I can keep track of it. These are 2019. Yes, 2019. Hopefully they'll grow. These flax are 2018. The date on those is not evident, or on these. And I think I got them a while back, so I'm going to go ahead and plant those right away. And then I've got some carrots from 2020. And, oh, these are not 2020. So I'm going to put those back. And then I've got some more carrots. Can't find a date on them. They're going to go ahead and get planted for this year. 2025, right? And then this package is opened. So I've got some bok choy. And some more of the blue wheat, but this is 2022, so that's going to go back in my seeds for another year, because I know somewhere I've got a bunch of wheat. It's not the blue type, but I've got a bunch of older wheat that maybe Sonora, I think, that I bought for like SHTF. So I'm going to want to plant that. And I'm not planting wheat for the food of it. I'm planting it to get more seeds. And also because of just like dry floral arrangements. And I'm going to do some art that I showed you guys before on another video. My family used to do this really beautiful artwork and like shadow boxes. And it's really pretty. It's like a Norwegian tradition. So I'm going to get back into that kind of stuff. Let's see what else I have. So I've got some of these yellow stuffer tomatoes. I'm excited about those because I love like stuffed bell peppers, and I think that would be really yummy to try the stuffed tomatoes. Those are 2020 seeds. I've got some yellow pears, yellow brandywine. Whoever knows how to say this one. Got a cup, actually, 3 packages of Waps. Okay, let's laugh at Aubrey today. Wapsipinicon peach tomatoes. I must have gotten super excited about them because I bought 3 of them. And then there's a white cherry tomato. And I liked the idea of these beautiful vintage wine tomatoes. And must have gotten super stoked about these because I got 3 tropical sunset packages of tomatoes. These need to be a priority because they were from 2017. And there's a lot of them. So I was going to do, when I planted some ox hearts, I need like a long time to grow them. So I need to plant them really early. Some of the packages are not 2020. But they're like opened already. So Tiny Tim's, Supernova grapes. I've got some Rutgers. Those are always good. Striped Romas. More Roma. That's a favorite in our household. More Roma. These are who knows how old. Because when I first started gardening, I bought most of my seeds off of eBay because I didn't know better. Reisenstraube. Who knows? And then from M.I. Gardener, I got this red centiflora. And from Baker Creek, we got raspberry Liana or Liana. I'm not sure, Liana. Pork chop tomatoes. More red centiflora. Another stuffer. This one needs to be planted first because it's already opened. Rio Grande. And then I've got more Rio Grande. They look very different. The packaging does. Different. It's supposed to be the same variety, but they don't look a lot alike. We'll see. And then the last one was a purple Russian tomato. So you can see here, this is probably enough. This is not all my 2020 seeds, you guys. This is just one little container I pulled that ended up having a lot of 2020 seeds, and one binder. And like I said, I have hundreds of pounds of seeds, so I need to go through and pull. And because I'm going to have a class, and because I do my seed swaps and free seeds and stuff that I do with people around my area, these are not going to go to waste. And I'm sure a lot of these are going to grow. If you don't believe me, subscribe to my channel and I'll show you. Now, will they have 100% germination rate? Maybe not. Maybe it will be 70 or 80%. But I am very confident that most of these seeds are going to germinate. If you want to make a bet, put your bet in the comment. What percent do you think are going to germinate? Are there any in here that you think won't germinate? So I've got a bunch of different types of tomatoes. I've got radishes, carrots, lettuce, the corn salad, different kinds of squash and radishes and so forth. I mean, these are probably some of the oldest I had, as are the ox hearts. Those are pretty old. These watermelon seeds are really old. These might not sprout. We'll see. But I'm going to give everything a chance. Nothing goes to waste. You know, in nature, a lot of plants will have fruit that just rots on the ground. Some animals will eat it. Maybe 1 or 2 will sprout and become a plant. And then the rest gets either eaten or decomposed. So it's definitely going to have a better chance to grow than that. And I'm not going to feel guilty about it because I'm going to plant them. They're going to be planted. They're not going to get wasted. But I've got all these different things. This could actually be a whole garden right here. I've got flowers. So you think about it this way. I've got flowers. I have fruit. I have, you know, some grains in here, the sorghums. So I've got root crops. I've got grain crops. I've got fruit crops. Like, this is like a lot of seeds. This could be a person's, several people, I think. I think this could be a garden for several people. Anyway, I got to get to growing these this year for sure. I definitely need to plant the oldest seeds first. Maybe I'll do like a little experiment and do some actual germination rates on a few of these varieties. If you're interested in that, pop a comment below. What old varieties do you have that you're going to try to prioritize growing this year? And I know it's so hard to hold off on the brand new ones. Maybe I will do a few new ones. But I definitely need to plant all my old stuff. Anyway, guys, do not let your seeds go to waste, even if that means giving them away. Last year, I saw at my library, there's a local, I'm not going to tell you what it's called because then I figure out where I live. But there's a local group that has like gardens and they do all kinds of community projects and stuff. It's like a little farm group, and they had seed packets for free at the library, and it was very popular. They like basically were out of seeds in one day, and I thought, you know what? And the thing is that they're doing is that they're only doing fresh seeds. If you're giving something away for free, people will take a seed packet that's from 2020. They don't care. It's free. They're not paying anything. If you're giving something away for free, just tell them, hey guys, this is an experiment. It's free, but these are older seeds. Maybe you're not going to get 100% germination rate. They aren't going to care. If it germinates, it's not going to be like a sick plant. It's not going to be less productive. If it germinates, it's going to be just as productive as it would have been if it was a new seed that germinated. So people aren't going to care. And I can guarantee you, if I put this online on Facebook Marketplace, or if I told in my community, if I told my friends, I've got old seeds, do you want some for free? They would absolutely say yes. So if you have to give them away, then give them away. But do not let your seeds go to waste. I'm going to be starting a lot of my seeds because I know people are kind of weird about the dates on the seeds. And I'm like, you know what? I'll plant them myself and then give away the plants. So there's no way I'm going to be able to plant all of these seeds on my own property. It's just not possible. I would need acres and acres and acres to be able to plant all of these. So, especially the tomatoes, because they take up some space. And most of these are going to be indeterminate. And if you don't have them trellised, then they'll be sprawling all over the ground, which is fine. You can do it that way. No one says you can't do it that way. I had indeterminate types of varieties of tomatoes growing when I was really young and I didn't know how it worked. And they were sprawling everywhere, and I had to walk through this jungly mess, and I had so many tomatoes. I bet you it's more productive that way, but it's just not as neat and convenient, and it takes up a lot more space. But I'm sure it does great, because everywhere the tomato stem touches the ground, it will grow roots. And so then it has even more water supply, more nutrient supply, because it's uptaking nutrients and water from everywhere it has roots. So there's nothing wrong with doing it that way. It's just messy. It looks like tangled and wild and crazy. But do what you're going to do. Do what you got to do to get your seeds used and not, you don't want to lose the viability of them. So as you can see, I had some seeds that were pulled from 2017, 2018, mostly from 2020. But I'm going to continue doing this, pulling some seeds out of my assortment and really prioritizing planting dates like January, February, March, April, May, as well as years, making sure that these do not get wasted. And tomato seeds need to be started this year early. I'm not going to do so early on the tomatoes because one year I planted them way too early and they were like a tangled, indeterminate, tangled mess. So I'm going to be careful with my tomatoes. I'm not going to plant them this early, but I will probably start some peppers pretty soon because they just take so long for me. I'm not sure if they take that long for everybody else, but they take a long time for me. And I love peppers. We all do. So I'm going to definitely give them a little bit of space and some time to get started soon. And I'm going to keep trying to perennialize my peppers because I know they can be. So I want to keep trying with that. And I'm not sure why. I had some like Thai really spicy peppers that lasted several years in a pot like indoors. I had it outside during spring and summer, and then before it got cold I brought them in. With the tomatoes and peppers this year, I made sure I got them in before it got too cold, so that was not the problem. They haven't had any pest pressure, no aphids, nothing like that. There was some slug issues, some snails, but not enough that would have killed them. So I don't know. They just didn't like being inside. I think they didn't like being inside, being too warm. I don't know. It's like kind of finicky. I'm not quite sure what the issue was, but I'm going to make sure I plant my seeds for the tomatoes and peppers early. Then after that, I will do some eggplants and some ground cherries. I love those. Those are wonderful. And I'm going to also start planting some tree seeds. So I don't want those to go to waste. I had a big order I did. I think it's called the Seed Man or the Tree Man or something like that. I ordered a bunch of tree seeds from him a year or two ago. And then I also had another big order of seeds that included a bunch of different trees. So those can be planted anytime. I'm going to go ahead and start some of those as well. So I don't want them to go to waste. I don't know how long ago those were harvested because there was like no date on them. I got them from some people on Etsy. So I'm going to go ahead and get some of those going as well. I have so much more to go through in terms of the seeds just by checking by date. I'm looking at the packages. If the package doesn't have a date, I'm pulling those and planting them first. If the package has been opened, I'm pulling those and doing those first. If it was for my own garden, I want to keep them going, and I want to keep the viability going and the genetics going, so I'm also doing those first. Lots of firsts. So, yeah, I'm going to be holding anything that says it's for 2024, 25. I'm going to hold them, and we'll see if I even get them to if I even start growing them this year, because I just want to make sure I don't let anything go to waste, and I have so many seeds. So I'm gonna have to delay the gratification because I'm so excited about some of the new varieties I've been seeing, getting all like, ooh, yes, that sounds so much fun. But it will be fun to grow the ones. It won't be fun to plant things and not have them sprout. So I'm going to go ahead and really focus as much as I can on planting my older inventory. What do you have in your older inventory that you're going to be planting soon? Or that you know for sure you're going to make sure you plant for the spring? All right, everybody. You know what I say. Be good, be sweet, grow a garden if you want to eat, and I will see you next time.